Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
Crystal Maiden.
Yeah, two pretty one-sided games, even though it didn't really actually look like that for Vega in the second game, as they just didn't have any way back in. So far it seems like Team Empire prefers killing people and Vega prefers killing towers.
10 seconds remaining.
And I'm curious to see if they're going to both continue on that
remaining.
theme or if they are going to try things a little
Reserve
bit
time.
differently this time. I mean, it is the last game. If you lose this one, it's out. So right now is the time for your Broodmother last picks and
Radiant
whatever.
team
Not
pick.
from Team Empire, at least they're gonna go with a Darkseer and a Disruptor. Chase.
Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Juggernaut.
Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining.
Very classic combo here. Jugcm
5
can
seconds remaining.
kill any solo offlaner basically. Especially if for the Darkseer too, if the Surge is out,
Reserve time.
you're toast. So they will probably have a lot of space for run. And I find it interesting here that Juggernaut, once again, is a hero that can fight, but he is also really good at pushing. And Empire have full-on fights again. So far it
Dire
seems like the
team
pattern
ban.
is holding.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds
Something fun to
remaining.
notice, by the way, Vega Squadron banned the clockwork in their first game. They let it through in the second, and it was first picked by
Radiant
Empire.
team ban.
And we really saw Ghostic do work with that thing. So Vega is right back to it. It's like, no, you're not getting that thing again.
Dire team pick.
So
10
Spirit Breaker
seconds
also
remaining.
down. That's another gap closer. And Empire deals
seconds
with
remaining.
mostly with offlaners. And they have been banning the Terror Blade. I wonder where that
Reserve
comes from,
time.
because I was looking at their at Vega's recent games, and the Terrorblade is in only like 2 of them. So I wonder if Empire knows something that we don't. Yeah, it's probably a good ban versus their style. There's the Earth Spirit.
Radiant team
Empire once again have so many ways to engage across a distance, and we're only 3 picks in. So Vega, what you gonna do? Are you gonna be more defensive, or are you gonna go with some initiation of your own? They really had too little of it last game.
10 seconds remaining.
Let's see if they switch it up.
5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
With the CM, you can run a lot of roamers. That's one of the great things about her. You can run basically anything in the 4 position because they are not going to be lacking in mana, and you can take care of a safe laner, especially Juggernaut, all on your own. So they might want to do something like a pressure dual lane. Ooh, there's a guy that can make good use of the mana.
Ten seconds remaining.
Yes, and
5 seconds
the
remaining.
single target silence is so good
Reserve
against stuff
time.
like Earth Spirit and Disruptor. Darkseer himself as well. You get the silence on the guy, what's he gonna do? He can't run away, he can't punch you back.
Templar Assassin. Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining.
They have a lot of disables and a lot of speed right now,
5 seconds
so
remaining.
she should have no problem getting in range of people to kill him.
Reserve time.
I do hope they stack some Ancients for him this time, though. That was notably lacking in the previous, like in the first game. So if they don't do that, like he's gotta have a good start. So I'm thinking this Earthshaker is going to be for support, but I'd kind of love it if it was offlane.
Dire
And I leave it up in
ban.
the air for now.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
At least they really needed someone who could do that.
Radiant
So
team
Empire
back.
say that's a 4 Earthshaker. We're gonna take out the Bat Rider. Like when they had to pick one form of initiation before they got the Bat, they're like, all right, you find something else now for your, well, the Earthshaker can engage from a distance.
10 seconds remaining.
And the Ember Spirit has the spirits in, of course, but
5
it's not
seconds
quite
remaining.
as safe.
Radiant team
So
pick.
they gotta find some way to initiate these fights better. And Team Empire needs a safe laner, but Jug is picked and Lifestealer is banned, so they don't get to have one of the
10
built-in
seconds remaining.
Unity ones.
5 seconds remaining.
And they have a full minute to decide.
Reserve
They'll probably
time.
take this entire time to finalize their strategy, because at this point there's no real pressuring Empire for time anymore. The button could work really well actually, as long as he's not the one getting silenced, he can take many of these stuns and disables off. It would make them very melee heavy again though, and no initiation whatsoever. So maybe a Sand King would be better?
10
Or
seconds
let's see what else
remaining.
is left in the pool.
Legion Commander.
Let's see.
Dire team pick.
Mm-hmm.
Ten seconds remaining.
Weave in and out of the
5
fight,
seconds
yes.
remaining. Reserve time. Ten seconds remaining. Spectre.
Well, that's why Empire go in with the late game security for the last pick. It is... I think I like Empire's draft more, mostly so because Vega, as we've seen, has a tendency to group up. And these big team fight ults with some right click from FN on top can do some real work. And Vega can get to jump now, but they are once again very reliant on Afterlife getting a good blink up, and then on top of that now he also has to get a couple of jewels up, because otherwise he's just not going to be able to stand against the counter initiation that Team Empire has. So
it was shut down completely in the last game. That was one of the reasons that Vega actually got beaten as hard as they did, essentially. That his battle rider just couldn't really find the impact. This game in a similar position here, but it's gonna be down to Team Empire to once again put him into that position in the first place. And there's some good combos once again to do that with. Darkseer with the Iron Shell on top of the Earth Spirit is a good start for the early laning phase. These early gank attempts, and then vacuum into Kinetic Field, Static Storm, Magnetize, and the Stones.
Gotta say one thing though, Vega are way more likely to actually fight this time and not focus down towers so single-mindedly. They have a lineup that's way better at answering this aggression from Empire. So I hope they feel comfortable with that. It's always a question of, you do something just a little bit different from the third game, but are you going to be operating smoothly when you just did the first two games in a different style? Have you practiced this?
So for these teams that they are on top of the game right now, know what they're doing. So once again, this is game 3. The loser's out. The winner will move on. The Epicenter qualifiers. My name is Dragondrop. I'm joined by Gibbs. And I do see these early shenanigans trying to scope out where the walls are at. Both teams.
30 seconds to battle.
Each one has one in the mid lane actually here. Not sure if they saw each other planting that.
I don't think so. Especially the Earth Spirit can be very fast at putting the defensive ward down. And they hold one on the Disruptor still. So they're looking to see what exactly they're gonna have on the top lane here.
The battle begins.
The Earth Spirit's going to move top to block up the wave, I think. Is he gonna? Yeah, there we go. He's gonna shrine up immediately. That's pretty clever.
not really losing too much and using these shrines early, so get yourself right back up to max mana.
And he doesn't have to
available.
walk back. He can block twice if he wants to, indeed. And that is going to help Afterlife a lot. I mean, Poshka is he going to start mid? He does have the Orb of Venom, but blocks the camp, and then he moves towards the top lane. So they are committed to giving Afterlife problems again, even though...
Chase him out here to be quite big because you have Thunderstrike, which is annoying, sure, but he has plenty of power points to do that. He's gonna get his level 2 off this, and there's something nice happening. It's good stuff for him.
CM starts off jungling.
He finds a role now. Couple body blocks, King out once again, only with the Thunderstrike. It's not exactly the hero that you want to combo off the Dose Spirit with. I'd rather see him down bottom actually.
The Juggernaut Darkseer matchup is pretty classic actually. It's depends a bit on how the Juggernaut uses his spins. You gotta use them to get these, especially the creep waves when there's a double Iron Shell, you gotta get them down as fast as possible. But you get into mana problems, and that's where the CM helps out. The CM just gets to start jungle because this lane is pretty even, and you don't actually kill the Darkseer all that easily.
We have to try and walk around the surge, get the frostbite off just as you surge. Can maybe get the kill, but maybe not. Frostbite level 1. It's not exactly a long situation. On heroes, and then again, you rather spend your time in jungle. Mid lane though, there's a roll in. Find on G. He has a DD to work with Knight's Fissure. Try and shore that up here and give him enough space to fall back into safety. Now there it is, the frostbite on the TA. No more refraction, but not enough follow-up damage either from the side of Vega. Both teams poking at each other, mid laners dropped down to no health whatsoever, so they're just trying up. And it's as if nothing has ever happened.
There's a win for Vega though, because they get to use the Shrine on 3, and Silent, yeah, he's ready to just go again. Is level 3.
Left alone. So they can find initiation here on the back of the smoke. The Fissure catches him on the wrong side though.
That's a shame. He is very dead if they don't block themselves off like that. And this tri-lane top is... They have chased Afterlife back, but he is level 3.5. He's doing just fine.
Jeez, actually just walking him down to the flame guard. It's gonna expire now though. And another Fissure just to give him a bit of a loft tap back.
Radiant's bottom tower
it's actually
is
forcing
under
him all the
attack.
way back to base because this shrine down bottom, it's already been used by Ghostic as well by the looks of it.
And now they put me Pushka mid.
We'll get his level 2 off of this at least, so next time he rotates somewhere it's gonna be more effective and with stone that's stun available.
I'm surprised he didn't have it already. But I think the pull was blocked before. Alright, Afterlife is...
Turns around, this is where the damage comes through from FN. They'll get the first blood.
Yeah, that puts FN right back into his lane.
This is this duality of a matchup like this up against Thunderspirit, where you can't rely on Flame God to keep you safe. The upside is, sure, you can keep it up the entire time to do damage, but the
Look at
downside
Ghostic.
is you're not tanky at all. Yeah, he's being punished right now. We really like this too. G dies, and then we make the rotation to a different lane to get a kill. Obviously, Ghostic kind of inviting
Radiant's middle
that,
tower is under attack.
being that far forward. It's something that the other team doesn't necessarily expect, so you get the free kill to get you right back up where you want it to be.
I think it's a little bit lacking in respect that Ghostic is just all the way out there with no vision on the supports from Vega and an Ember Spirit who is he can just come in there. He did just die.
Top lane, the roll will miss. Afterlife, he's gonna get some help too. Sioma as well as Silent coming through. They'll find King R with one more punch. And then that's the rest of Empire's kill potential gone down the drain, if there ever was any to begin with. Afterlife, level 4, almost level 5, very hard hero to just pick off.
He is pressuring the Spectre back constantly with this overwhelming odd spam. Spectre's actually going back to base, so this top lane where they dedicated 3 heroes to try and
Dire's top tower
win this
is
lane,
under
and they
attack.
gave up a lot of possible momentum on bot and mid for that, and they just lost it really hard. Creep waves on the tower, it's gonna get pushed in very hard, and this Spectre is not going to have a safe space to farm ever.
He might get Silent here, be pushed with King R. 2 sides of the river. Catch the magnetic field, the roll will actually miss somehow. And it's gonna be down King R, but maybe Roshan.
Oh, the kick!
Oh no! I think Roshan would have gotten a deny off if Sioma didn't throw down the fissure.
What have we here?
So, slight misplay, so that gave space for Porsche to throw the kick and snag the kill away. So, very interesting series of events there. As he rolls it again, quite connected Afterlife. He's Sioma looking for the fissure and he finds it. That's another right click and another death, another kill for this offlane Legion Commander who is having a whale of a time. It also created a lot of space for the other lanes. Rilio up at 48 CS. Middle lane, also more space for G. So overall, Vega,
Dire's
they're getting the
bottom
better end
tower
of
is
this
under
early
attack.
game, aren't they?
They're really coming out of on top of this. And they
Dire's
prevented
structures
Silent
are
from getting an
fortified.
aggressive ward down earlier, but they don't really need a ward there if you can just run around the top tower like this.
Dire's bottom tower
It's-
is under attack.
There's like
Empire
4
are
observer
locked in
wards.
now.
Do you see this? There's 4 observer wards in his top lane. 2 from each team. Giving pretty much identical vision. But no, the smoke up there from Empire. They do have ghosting. They bring him in here with the extra
Dire's
Iron Choke
bottom
Porsche.
tower has
This is the
fallen.
combo that we've been talking about in the draft. A lot of damage potential coming out.
They don't
Just
have the
fine to roll
level.
in. There it is, onto Afterlife. Okay, next, he still has the heal to throw up. Plus he wants to try and turn this here, but nice and back and back.
The CM was just a bit too far back to help out there. So it pays off. Like, if this was my team, I would have told them to abandon this lane. It's like, to avoid getting locked up in this exchange over here. Because that's basically what's happening right now. They always have to be top. But they are taking a really big stack here. Unless Shoma is gonna
Being
steal it.
contested. There's 1 or 2 Iron Shots gone. So it actually took quite a bit of damage here, but eventually G will take these big creeps away from Empire. This actually hurts quite a bit, unless they can turn this into something. No, level 6 into something very, very far from that actually. So now it's Afterlife for sure not doing nothing, and nothing to help out. So Empire just asleep at the wheel here.
They dedicate all these heroes to top, and then the Spectre wasn't actually farming. She was still sitting off to the side, waiting for the fight to start happening. And when it does, Vega just bursts them down. And that's a lot of networks that he just misses out on. So they get less than nothing in return. And now they spread out. They're abandoning now. But the damage has already been done, the bot tower is gone. FN has at least gotten more out of the middle lane than G. But this Spectre is completely shut down.
That's gonna end up being a problem if you remember game 1. I mean, FN also had a very quiet start as well. He got a kill, he's been farming, but it hasn't been enough at all. Empire need a little bit more going their way. They need their ultimates, they need their combo to get online between Ghostic, Miposhka as well as the Disruptor. And that's when they can start taking fights properly. Until then, They have to settle for these kind of pickoffs. Sioma ready with his own spells, not really enough to keep him safe though. Especially with Chappie also making rotation, getting the kill for himself. Meanwhile though, G finds the kill mid on the solo disruptor.
I was watching that. King R was just standing there for a while. I think he was looking at top, and the Ember Spirit just walked up to him and got a couple of clicks in before he even realized. So Disruptor glimpses him, but he just remnants right back in and it's done.
Well, I'm just looking at top. They need to TP in for this. Are they responding or just got a free kill and then oops, I actually got picked off. Well, mistakes were made. These are mistakes that you can't actually afford to make here. Let's scan here to try and figure out where Empire's at. Is smoked up. Sioma and G, and again, that's a great kill. They can get it. He walks forward, and one comes out. Chappie wants to try and help, but they almost get Ember's Bird actually, but the Acro Slam comes out, locking them down further. Not Chappie, dropping lower and lower. The duel though goes on in the dark. Sioma, well, he should get the kill for himself, but Thunderstrike not quite enough to bring him down, but the dagger will be. Chappie somehow still alive, silent, walking closer and closer, but not quite close enough for the frostbite.
Dire's bottom tower is under
So he'll be able to, Chappie will be able to make his way up to the top. The glimpse alone will not be enough. God, the dagger! Oh!
Hey.
is under attack.
That'd have been enough. That's a max level dagger at like 200 health. Would have been close either way.
It's another jewel win for Afterlife.
Overall,
But
Vega still come out ahead of that exchange for sure.
They're gonna get the star now too. But that was very risky. I think right now Empire need to find their advantage in the counter initiation. So Vega go on someone, they overextend, you glimpse someone back in and you hit him with the combo. I think that's a good way to win any fights right now. But they didn't really get it off back there. Like Chappie only escapes on a hope and a prayer, basically.
Yeah. Much. I mean, if you count initiation as a Spectre Haunt, nothing else. It's not exactly what you had in mind with drafting this lineup. Still have only the level 5s of the supports, and Ghost Stick will start
need
putting
those
up
ultimates
attacking
up.
points into the wall soon
Dire's
enough.
middle tower is under attack.
But right now, it's
Look at this double ward. Just look at it. This is
Radiant's
not
bottom
actually.
tower is under
Sometimes people
attack.
say, "Oh, that's an accident,"
Dire's middle
but
tower is under attack.
very often teams actually put 2 wards down because if one gets 2 warded like this, they're gonna think like, "All right, we're in the clear. They have no more vision here."
Yeah.
And then you can jump them anyway. So
Dire's
second ward
middle
just
tower has fallen.
gets to stay up. Does he suspect it's there
Radiant's
though?
bottom tower is under attack.
It's
Still
kind
walking
of
around.
walking that
Middle
way,
tower
as
is
if he
under
had another
attack.
Sentry Ward and would want to place it down, but he's actually not holding on to one. Maybe not. Trying to zoom in with us. Now, okay,
And
top lane I
they
think is
go.
where the action's at.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
What was that
They got the
about?
silence?
Well, get the glimpse back to the other side, but of course Spit is still available. They didn't quite catch him in the static storm, so... Is it just a haunt for vision? Then to try and find that angle on somebody?
The Spectre jumped on Virilio, but then realized he was in too deep, threw a dagger, and walked off into the bushes before he could get jeweled or something like that.
Okay,
They're
there it is.
engaging off to the
GH for the
side in
chains on
vision.
2. Turn around, vacuum is there, but it bursts down 1, looking for 2, another double chains.
A reminder, this is in the vision that Empire thought Vega didn't have. So there you see the
Definitely
value
worth
of putting that double ward down.
They already have the creep wave here, so nice little pressy attack and the catapult. CHP helping out, and that's another dead
Dire's
tier
middle
2.
tower has
Only
fallen.
one altitude tower remaining now for Team Empire, and this is looking more and more like game number 1, where Vega could just go from tower to tower, and Empire just can't feel comfortable fighting just yet. They had that combo, but they missed it on a single hero.
They were very dependent. Yeah, he's looking for the second ward now. Like, I know you got another one. You tricked me.
He's gotta find it now. So smart sentry positioning catches both that particular ward spot as well as the other one. further down. So King R, once he has that connect field up.
Might
then
use
it's
his
actually
courier
courier,
provision.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Also gonna do the trick.
But the damage is already done, really.
Oh yeah.
And they have no towers of their own. Like, even King R keeping that pressure up on the bot lane has only brought it down to half health.
Dire's
There
top
is-
tower is under
They
attack.
might catch Sumo here. Can find his up here if he can actually make his way there in time. Gets a glimpse away though. Nice and late for
Chappie.
King R, but now bit of a turnaround potential here as G walks in, can't find the chains and one TP out, that's not fast enough. Kill and the duel can come out.
No, the
fast,
jewel
but
was
doesn't
used on
actually get it
Chappie in the
off.
mid lane.
Dire's top
Oh, wow.
tower is under
So it's
attack.
down. And Chappie escaped
Good.
once again with a sliver of health. He's going on top. But he really should. Oh!
Slash to no effect whatsoever, so the real use actually did.
Well, he.
What's even happening? Okay, G
Like-
finds the kill. I don't even know what's going on. I really don't know. Is a kill there,
G
then
was still
there,
running
then
away.
there? Like, what?
So the Juggernaut was split pushing, and the Haunt was basically used to just dodge the last couple of Omni Slash jumps. So Chappie was once again very nearly dead, but he manages to get out with quick thinking, and then the Juggernaut is in over his head. But no duel win for Afterlife there, and then no duel for the follow-up scrambling. And a lot of this has to do with the Empire vision in the Radiant jungle. Like, we don't care that we don't got any towers, we will just go in there anyway.
This could be a really big kill. You gotta take fit. Start off with the silence into the static storm. That looks like a dead Emperor's Burden, and it is. Get the Juggernaut, they followed up with an Emperor's Burden kill just a minute later. Alright, main rotation through here now. Well, gonna go for a kill of his own. Really, with the extra damage, they barely get the duel win.
Blessings.
So, kind of limit the impact that they can have forward here. Because once again, Empire, they get the kill, but they have no way to actually turn it into a tower. All tier 1 still alive and kicking for Vega.
No towers up for Empire. We've seen that game before, but
Yeah.
this time Vega have a 10k gold lead. That's all tower money right there. Chappie is moving on into the Radiance, and I'm really concerned that he's not going to get it. Honestly, I think he should buy a Yasha and just keep fighting. Yasha, Blade Mail, keep going, keep going. He is
Almost the
going
point
to be...
again where Vega can just say, alright, screw it, let's take Roche, let's go high ground. And the big difference compared to game number 1 is, for Team Empire, they do still have that teamfight 1 more combo available, so Vega definitely have to watch out for that. At the same time, they have some things of their own. And if they really want to force high ground anytime soon, they'll also start doing BKBs.
Yeah, it's 2 blink theirs. Yeah, so one of them can go in and the other one can follow up later. And
Up, they want to fight around the first pit here. These over in there from Vega. Then it's vacuum back into wall, into the stack storm on 2. Beautiful finisher to try and turn this around, but just not enough damage to follow up here. The Will you? Ultimate Stand gets glimpsed back right into the pit, into another stone from the footage. There's someone now G finally making an appearance here, turning this around onto 2. Now looking for more. Chappie starting to burn. But FM is still very much alive and kicking. He has a Desolator to chew through the Embers, but will get the kill. Triple for FM. And
he used
that
all of
was
his remnant.
not quite as impactful for Vega as they had hoped. They only get the 2 supports, but FM, well, showing us what they can do when a Templar assassin. Jeez,
they were...
sad face.
They were just not ready for Empire to say, alright, we go for... like, this could have been the last fight that Empire had in them. But they make use of the fact that Vega is all clustered. They don't take the distance on their Earth Shaker to, like, make sure that he can re-engage. So at the time that they go in, he's in the middle of it and he has to walk out to get his blink dagger up and try and re-engage back into it. But by that time, it's just too late.
Let's get Roshan at the same time, and it could get frostbite up on the Templar Assassin. So throw up and catch him with a duel. It's gonna be a dual win as well as the Aegis taken out immediately. We're not gonna stick around too long. His Empire might just be ready to counter-initiate it there, but at the very least limiting the damage. They still wanted it for themselves, obviously.
Yeah, that they can't go high ground as easily now, but they did limit the damage that was done in that team fight. Although, look at that, that's a relic up on Chappie. His gamble paid off. He might be dead now, though.
Trying to go for the kill. Last jump not used to try and burst him down. And vision just in time, but now the science turn us around. Chappie's actually still alive.
And
He
this
pushed
mech
out with the
from
roll
bursting.
in. Just at the right time.
Empire say no, we got some momentum and we're gonna keep it. Chappie, this is like his fourth escape. He got out on a sliver of health, like at top lane, at a mid duel. He's just been so hard to kill, even though it really shouldn't be that big of a problem. He's just an underfarmed Spectre.
Well, you're gonna be on the farm for too long here. Once you have that radiance up and running, your farm speed increases rapidly. He's gonna start catching up, and in the meantime, you still have this Templar Assassin who's about 1.5k ahead of the next highest farm on the side of Vega, who has the Blink Death Zone, so it's very dangerous to almost all of Vega's heroes, really.
He can blow up anyone.
Yeah.
And Vega pressure with 3 here. They gotta be very wary that if they get caught before they're set up, they will...
So the Silence of Juggernaut here. Yes, an Echo Slam here. A lot of damage being done to Spectre, and this time around with the duel as well as the Omni Slash. A lot of committal to finally bring down that Behemoth. And with that, they're gonna look for this opening to the high ground, maybe force the buyback on. But if they're not careful, they might still lose heavily to it here. There's very well spread for now with the Stag Storm and expect that they can get Disruptor here. They don't have to care about that, but he gets it off instead. And Whispered not trying to vacuum into the wall.
They need to get out. Offenders coming in and he has a fresh BKB.
He's back here into the silence, mantles it off, Event forced to throw the BKB, so it is a defense. It's a very costly one though.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
BKB used.
They're out just in time.
Yeah. They don't have to spend Spectre buyback, they don't quite lose their tier 3 just yet, so the shrines are still protected. So overall still a win for Empire, but still very well played from Vega, I want to say. They're just looking for these opportunities, looking for the heroes that can make things worse for them. Just trying to finish up the Disruptor at the beginning of the fight, and then forcing out these spells in a suboptimal fashion.
They can just go again. The big ults are down. The BKB is also not quite up yet.
Spectre's back though. Radiant's closing in on that. Only a couple of hundred gold remaining.
Empire is just going to be stalling. I don't think they can save this tower anymore. And are Vega gonna back off of this? Now they pressure on.
Get the kill, Ram is out. So once again, just try and force out some spells, trying to force out cooldowns. This time it wasn't back. Static Storm's back online now. They should have timed that well enough.
And once again, a very disciplined back from Vega. They got the tower, they got what they came for. They poke the shrine once and then think better of it and walk on. Because the smoke is coming in. Empire is following.
Scandal's Radiant will catch it on the edge, so...
Right on top of it.
They know exactly what Empire is doing right now. Sitting on the high ground here, smoke themselves, and they'll run right into each other. Blink across, BKB's galore at them. really can. That's some zoning static storm, if nothing else. To make sure they can get the one kill. Glimpse back on Afterlife. It's always a 3-second pickup that you get when you win a fight with a disruptor.
Chappie is really low once again. And now it's time for Empire to do the discipline back. Because she has those boots to travel. He could just come into that at any second. And Omnislash is also up.
So how much do these kills really matter in the grand scheme of things? Because like they get the kills, sure, but once again they don't get any towers. They don't really slow down the big force on the
Kills
side
are
of
time.
Vega too much.
Just time. Anytime you kill someone, they can't really go. But then you gotta, of course, be there to make use of that. So they're gonna sacrifice the shrine instead to get some more farm up. FN got a bit more out of the top lane. Chappie got a bit more out of bot. And this is all about making this game as long as they can make it. If the Spectre gets up there in net worth, you can actually turn this around. Just the TA is not gonna be enough. But the TA might be able to carry them to that point if she keeps on being this unstoppable force that she is. Because the thing is, you gotta duel the... like, you probably want to duel the Spectre.
Yes.
Just to burst them down. But otherwise you need to go for one of the supports with the counter initiation. You can't really afford to duel TA. So she's gonna have pretty free reign in these fights, especially with the BTB. Question is FN going to be able to make the most out of that opportunity?
I think it's gonna come down to whether Vega can actually find an angle into the backlines like they've been trying to do. They've been trying to pick up the disruptors and the earth spirits before an actual fight breaks out. If they can manage that somehow, then they have a lot more freedom in these fights to go for the duels on the core targets to bring them down. But so far, Empire has been doing quite well for themselves, just keeping in good formation. Not being as susceptible to that as they could be.
Vega has broken down both the shrines now, and they're keeping the lane pressure up. There's no free tier 1s in this for Empire, which they did get in previous games. So holding the line, they got one deep ward out still, and Empire are pretty blind right now. They don't have any vision in the enemy jungle, so they can't go for any smoke plays without doing it blind. And this vision in their own jungle is not nearly enough to actually make them feel secure about what's going on in there. So FN is hiding in the bushes, yeah. Uses a haste route just to go out and farm. And immediately gets punished for it.
Has to pop the BKB and that's gotta hurt. It's the 8-second shot. Very liberal with his BKB usages there. But yeah, you could really tell Empire, the rest of them, it was just huddled up inside the base because they didn't see anyone anywhere. Either on walls or on the lanes for Vega, so on the point where maybe get a bit paranoid. Okay, are they smoked up? Are they just waiting for us to show our face for Blink Duel? What can we afford? How far can we go? Shadowblade and Juggernaut. Save exit. Pyre is just looking for the bottom lane a little bit.
So, past couple of minutes, really the only thing they've seen are the real use illusions, sometimes the real use himself, and G. And you can't really go on G. If you go on him, you have to spend your big ults, all of them, just to kill him. And that's not worth it because Vega will just immediately start pushing for high ground as soon as those abilities are down. So Empire are doing the only possible thing here really by waiting until Vega engages into them. And then they can try and make more use of the wall and the disruptor ult.
Tower goes down, G not opting to show himself, trying to prevent that. So right back up top of Lemon. They also know this Roshan is up, so Yoma did scout it out just as it spawned. So all they were looking for is to just bring Empire back into their base and then angle around this Roach He goes thing.
Oh,
Could have been a good one here, but the quick blink out there from Afterlife preventing the pick off, and now with that vacuum on cooldown, that's all it takes for Vega to be confident enough to start chipping away at this point.
and it seems like Empire don't really know what they want to do. They were standing around a little bit as if they wanted to smoke, but there are no smokes on anyone. And even though Vega is taking this Roche really slowly, putting only the real you in the pit, they are not answering whatsoever.
The problem for Empire right now is that while they have a good tool to get them back into the game, it's going to be hard for them to actually execute it with the way that Vega's playing.
They're going at the right.
Try. The Aegis though in the hands of Juggernaut already down. He hit a vacuum up too. They actually bring down Silent first. Heals up on the Ember Spirit, so he's actually going to be going down. Maybe not just yet. He somewhat keeps himself alive. The duel now turns around. Temple Assassin actually going to win it though. Gets the BKB off. And it's all of a sudden a complete team fight for Vega. The real you is still alive. But after coming back from the Aegis, brought down with a triple kill. Goes like, what happened here? They only lost the Disruptor.
Vega did that so right up until the last second. The rush was slow because they were spread out so much. Because they were afraid of, well, this fight happening.
Yeah, exactly.
And then when the Spectre Haunt comes in, they panic. They forget basically everything. There's a great vacuum wall on the backlines from Ghostic. And Ember Spirit's down. FN does not die in a duel. Like as I said, you can't duel FN. That's not your target right there.
Afterlife didn't have any help with it. If he had any sort of help, at least they get the kill, but as it stands, even wins the duel barely, gets the BKB off, and then there's just no follow-up. Especially not with the Ember Spirit, one of the highest farming heroes. He was caught in a static storm, so he had no impact in the fight as a winner. And Juggernaut, he was still busy in the pit, he was busy trying to find his way out there and connect with the rest of his team, so... Ultimately, so that's... The way that they had to spread out around the pit ended up costing them, didn't it?
Yeah, it's if they didn't spread out and they just took it immediately, confident that they had enough vision and that Empire wasn't going to go in time, that Roche would have been dead for half a minute already.
Yep.
But they did the smart play and it ended up not working out for them. It was so close though. The Haunt came in at the last possible second. And they didn't expect it to come anymore, that's the thing. A lot of these fights are mental. They were like, alright, it's nearly done, they will probably already moving on in their minds. And that's when the fight comes in. And all of the plans that you had, you already discarded them, because the fight wasn't happening. And now it is happening, and you're panicking. I'm panicking!
What do we do? What do we do? We already lost the Crystal Maiden, who was building a force. So impressed.
What now? I've never heard of that item before. Nobody uses that. I've seen it in pubs where enemies would build like 2 of them. And there go your towers.
You can't stack medallions and solar crests. So that was the idea. Then
it's pretty gimmicky.
Yeah. It's not really worth it, really. You'd rather have another utility item on your team. I myself would like the urn on the Crystal Maiden.
Vega are in
ways, but yeah.
disarray now. They had their game plan all figured out. They held on to their towers. Their lanes were always out. And they lost 4 towers now. FN is absolutely huge. He's going to, like, he can just straight up buy the Asha if he feels like it, but he's gonna keep the buyback instead, of course. And this Spectre is looming in the distance.
Slowly creeping up to these two heroes that are sitting at about 16k and 1.5k ahead of him. The other team.
And now it is Empire that are coming for your towers. And they are... Vega are not set up for this at all. They don't have any vision in the area. They are smoking in now, but they're late. Tower is already down.
He has an invis here. Oh no, Shadow whatever. Alright, so he's scanning on some of those. The Horn comes through here, they on the slash. Well, decent amount of work, but ultimately not enough for them against two tanky heroes. Duel in the back will be successful on top end. That's a great start. As G is now trying to clean up here. One trade so far, gets the chainsaw off on Ghost Stick, and Friend TP will not be able to complete it. Double kill for the real you now.
That's really crucial. FN just went in too deep there. Yes, Vega got that fight on the back lines that they wanted, and even though they lost 2 kills for it, the spin actually went off for the real you. And who cares about vacuum wall if you just spin right through it? And then FN wasn't there to hit him.
Buyback even forced out, so they only lost on range racks, not the biggest loss. It's only
That's pretty big blow.
If they force FN buyback, then that'd be a much better win obviously, but only the Juggernaut really crushing the lane.
They got to keep their last remaining outer tower though, and Astrolife just went in. That's a pretty big... Like, again, mentally this is also a pretty big moment, because they just got confronted with Empire getting back into the game after looking like they had no chances left whatsoever. And in the next fight they turn it around. So that speaks volumes about their mental resilience. They were like, alright, sure, shit happens, we move on. And they get the backline fight that they needed. G didn't die.
What do you think about his item build this game actually? Do you agree with his auto recall before BKB or anything like that? Because he still has no real good ways of dealing with that. Your Scepter, I guess, is supposed to do that, but it's not lasting long enough for entire duration.
Yeah, I guess the goal is, and they've been playing like that for a while now, to have him come in later. So he is never there at the start of the fights, which means that they count on Empire using that ability when they get a good opportunity, and not necessarily on G. And when he's not there, you can't see him, you can't target him. So that plus the Yules is supposed to keep him safe. I guess it can work. It's sort of a macro solution to a problem you could also itemize against.
Yep.
So I think I like it. It suits G. He's an aggressive kind of guy. He doesn't like to build the boring king bar.
Pretty confident in his ability to play around and counters against this hero.
Yeah.
Good on him.
It's risky.
When you're holding up to the Gemini, it's all the more important that you keep yourself safe and not beat it away. As it stands, both teams ready to run at each other. Pull the trigger.
They're looking at that Roshan once again.
Vega
no.
It's a fairly long respawn timer, which both of these teams more time to set up and make poke and prod a little bit more. Review once again is in with this going into the
That's... I guess the delay is in Vega's favor because they can get these lanes out again, but at the same time I was talking about time before. Spectre. Spectre. Going to build a hard next. Diffusal blade is up. She is going to...
Especially with the last pickup, or last team fight that they won. kind of fallen
Dire's middle
behind
tower
a
is
little
under
bit
attack.
again.
Oh,
Comes
Sioma
through,
went
the
in
gun
too
look,
far.
Sioma glimpses back away from them actually, but Event with the blink after will be able to finish off the kill. That should set them up for Roche. There's no buyback on the Surfshaker.
They are
Be
really
dead for
counting
30
on it
more
to
seconds
spawn.
here when it comes back. The
Cheeky
courier.
little check. So they gotta get this mid lane out right now. I don't think it's worth it to wait on the high ground here. No one's gonna show. Gotta get the lane out. Make sure that Vega has to deal with that before they can go in, and the Roche is there. Fast, fast,
He's
fast.
gonna die so quickly. Compare that to the way Vega took Roche earlier.
Yeah,
Just no comparison really.
10 seconds versus a minute.
Less than 10 seconds, was it?
Yeah, probably
With,
also less than a minute, but
Yeah.
they didn't manage to counter the ward that Sioma gave his life for and gave the Roche for last time though, so that's something. Vega still have their deep vision up, but Empire also get to place down like a half deep ward of their own. So let's see who can make the most use of that.
This game is definitely worthy of being a game 3 decisive match like this.
Neither of these teams are letting go.
What?
Neither of these teams are letting go.
Yeah. Both really don't want to. It's a big prestigious tournament on the line. Lose this game, then well, you forfeit your chance to actually take again. Even if you win this one, you still have some ways to go. Na'Vi next, and then up against Secret for the actual spot.
Secret. That's a really big opponent to have to work your way past.
But then again, right now, I don't think it's on any of these players' mind.
No, you take this kind of stuff one game at a time. There's a full Mjolnir on the Ryu, and there should also be one on the Ember Spirit soon, unless he's gonna sell it and move into something different. So they are really concerned with keeping these lanes pressured. Oof, that was pretty close. G just narrowly gets away from the kick there.
She was guard next, so a little more AoE. Attack speed slows, use what we'll have against the Squadron on the elite. And as well. Anyway,
Both teams have been dewarding the deep wards. So no one has vision of the other guys. Again, are Empire just gonna walk up?
So good, yeah. Just say, alright, screw it. Just try and go a bit more aggressively here if we can't find anything. Otherwise, we have all ultimates up and running.
And the Ryu should.
Find some.
Oof, that was very close. Sometimes you just have
At the
to.
very least, and meanwhile up top, look at this too. Chappie, he spent a lot of time up here trying to push it out, but he's also not able to get close across the river.
At least he doesn't have to show himself in order to push this out. He can send an illusion, but Ember is already there. And there's no creep wave left on bot, so even though FN wants to threaten the Rax, oh, they're actually gonna TP back too. This is, if just G goes, that's fine, but Sioma anticipates FN staying there. And they are waiting for his attempt at split pushing. He's not going to, so that's a loss for Vega. They can't push top now. They're gonna be backing off. And they run into the smoke.
Find initiation onto the Ryu. Follow up silence with the Orchid, everything. A lot of damage being done in return there with the Mjolnir, but they got the kill and then dawned back to the other side, but that was a BKB. Keeping Afterlife safe against most of that damage. So we only get the one, but it's an important hero to get the highest farm one, in fact, on the side of Vega.
Even
Can they get
though he
anything
was
else
cornered.
off of this, though? Maybe they can set up for some sort of push in mid lane, but he doesn't seem to inspire too. Spent so
They-
much time trying to set up for this.
Probably should just throw a fan at the racks and make sure that if anything happens. Oh,
Go Scepter, he's safe for now, as well as the Pressy attack. Initiation.
Yoma risking the game there.
Well, Event got the UCHs now. I think that's a Radiant Ward sitting inside the racks now, so very hard to de-ward even, but Event comes back from Aegis, pops a BKB, unwilling to really go deeper though.
They didn't manage to get the buyback out, and he is respawning soon. So if they engage now, they risk him getting back into the game. Once again, a very disciplined back.
What surge is this?
Is G? Oh. He is out of there.
A gift from the
This is so
tempest of
silly.
battle.
They must see this ward, right? But once again, even if they they want this one, there's still this one sitting there on the side. They might not expect. So Empire at least setting themselves up for
Those
a
are
successful
Radiant
high
wards.
ground push. But the question is whether they can actually get there again anytime soon without the Aegis in hand.
Radiant wards, man. I don't know why they're there. So I guess like the ward over on the side I can get, because sometimes you need that vision up on your own high ground to see their backlines. But the one that's like in the racks,
Just
I
anticipating
don't
the
know.
tower going down already, but even then, I mean, how far does see? I can just pass this thing.
that must be a
Not
misclick.
really that much extra. Yeah, maybe. Maybe it's just a mistake. Maybe just thinking way too much about this. Who knows, really?
I'm gonna check out the replay when we're done. I do want to know how that thing ended up there. Aurelio is in place for FN. Did he see him? Nighttime
Okay.
vision keeping FN safe. Oh!
They see him now. See him, he has a gem in hand. Now, actually bring him down. Obviously, actually after bouncing through that distraction. Yeah, not damage. There it is. Vacuum, Echo Slam, and all these ultimates being used. The benefactor of that. Silent with his own ultimate, not enough to actually keep them away. Put the scare into them. They just don't care. Just kill him. Now,
Him surviving the
Heroes
Omni
down
Slash
to which
is-
have no buybacks. So Empire, they're gonna take this opportunity to push down the bottom lane. We'll have creep waves soon and then. Let's take a look back. It's no silent though. And, well, unless they can get this kill, they're gonna
That's
have to buy
the
back
Mandy
the
Jewel.
Juggernaut, but Jewel, again, not much damage to follow up here after this next storm is gonna come out, so they get that kill.
They use the Juggernaut buyback for it. Are like, alright, this TA's BKB is down, we gotta go now. And he doesn't get the jewel, but at least they kill him at the end, and that's gonna save their racks.
Only just. It was so close actually to being so much better for Empire. Still got something out of it, but yeah, this defense overall still super impressive. Yeah,
Yes.
this game looked so much different 20 minutes ago. Look at the graphs.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? Vega was ahead by so much. And the first Roche fight, then a second round of pickoffs, and Empire just stay in it. And they are really not with their backs against the wall anymore. The Spectre has finally arrived. FN is still sitting atop of the net worth lead as he has been for the past, well, half hour.
Pretty much. Been there for a while.
And they still have the both lanes pressured out. No, the mid lane not, but they still have the bot lane pressured out pretty well. Afterlife?
Actually got on by
Go far
Chappie.
forward.
He blinks in to try and get rid of the creep. If he hasn't popped the BKB just to walk away. Is he able to bait Empire in further here? Is he probably half on the way? But there it is, Chappie. Actually calling the bluff, coming through with the hard metal stone into the back. Magnus Slam to try and turn us around though. Not gonna be enough. Earthbird even still staying alive, so the G comes in. Static Storm will actually catch the end. Sure. Open slash will end. It'll bring down everybody. Silent will Zulman and back in. Good enough, so far so good, but Chappie's still alive. Taking off down to the exposure. It's G, who's ultimately the main man of the match of this particular team fight. Securing himself a triple kill and completing that 5-man wipe. Going the other way, Empire.
That was really close. And that's actually a dieback on the LC. Empire just chased, they know the BKB is out. They know they can get the stuns off, and G gets really uncomfortably close to remnanting himself right into the Static Storm. But he goes through instead. And that makes all of the difference in the world as he gets to clean up. And that really clustered fight, there were so many lightning bounces, both from him and from the real you.
Speaking of lightning, it's going to be more of that as he just completes the only after that, still holding on to buyback gold.
But it did cost them another buyback.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
They're going to try and force out some of their own now. This one will go sick. They want FN or Chappie if they can get it. Back fight here. Blitz back. That's not being used. Silent. Doesn't actually want to go down that big of an ultimate just for Crystal Maiden.
That's a Crystal Maiden with a Crimson Guard though. She is very tanky. That's not just an easy little snack. It's
very unconventional item build because it's working for him.
Like, alright, Solar Crest, flavor of the month, right? Drums?
Yeah.
Team item? Sure. Crimson Guard?
Also team item, so might not go all the way.
I'm surprised he has the money actually, but I guess that gold per minute talent will do that for you. The game has gone long enough that the Crystal Maiden is nearing level 25.
Roshan, let's believe the 4th Rosh of the game now. The next target once again for both of these teams. Try and secure and hold on to perhaps. Maybe even go high ground with it.
Both teams know it's up. And Empire's just... Yeah, they've just taken down Vega's vision. So they've got the advantage here. But the question is, do you want to go in and commit to it?
Well,
they get their opening.
The Hex comes out, the Haunt as well, BKBs from every way. And like vacuum into the wall, so it looks like Empire is going to get some of the spells on the right side. You see Sports down right as well already, so no more fall control, the duel. Apart from that though, of course, and they're actually going to win it. Maybe there it is, Afterlife and G together. Bring down a fan, and Chappie, well, he's strong, not quite strong enough to make it prevent that from happening. Now he's being rooted up to get the kill on Afterlife again, but what cost? Chappie. Hearts, not enough to save, and the buyback from FN as well. Didn't have a TP to actually throw out. Got cancelled.
Vega's gonna shrine up. What's FN gonna do? He bought back for this? Is he just gonna farm? Ah, man. That's not where you wanna be.
Calculation. I think if he immediately TP's back,
like,
but then
it's
again, there's
better
no
because if he
safely, so the creep got.
If he goes there, he dies.
Yeah. Wow.
So
it's a very hard call to make in these kind of situations. Of course,
they give up
and then
rush.
do I go back in now? Just a matter of seconds, even less than that time.
I feel like without the jewel, if they go in, buy back, there's no haunt, that's it. If they had another haunt, they would have for sure gone for the buyback haunt play there. But they don't. so they gotta give up the rush. All there's left to do is split push.
Yep.
And Vega is gonna outsplit push you every time with these boosted travel.
Take care of bottom. Top lane is pushing into Empire's base, obviously, thanks to that range tracks being down from a long time ago, it feels like.
Dire's middle tower is under
Now
There's
bottom
the
lane,
different
tier
ends.
3 also being kept aware. Empire not even
Dire's middle tower has
Not even
fallen.
dragging the creeps away. That's how scared they are to use the Protean on tier 3.
All of their vision is around Roche. They have no way to know what Vega is up to right now. And they know they have one more fight in them. One more high ground defense. So G is gonna push in his bottom lane all the way. And then I presume Vega are just going to put the real you up on the high ground, have him in those buildings, and wait for the opportunity to go in.
We do have buyback on Spectre, so it could potentially be a trump card. They're gonna have to play with Vega Squadron, ends up being slightly extended, but so far they haven't done too much of that, at least when it comes to the high ground.
And Vega have
They're
been
staying very
saving
safe.
their jewel for FN.
Yeah.
Pretty much every time, as soon as his BKB is out, they commit the jewel. And if they get that TA, her buyback is down. That's the majority of Empire's damage, so he has to be really careful. Look at how far up the real you is. His team is not even close. He's got
Just
Aegis,
acting like they are.
the Shadowblade,
Just,
feeling good.
It's just mind games right now.
For all Empire know, Vega is right behind him.
Kinda reveal that they're smoked up here and start throwing out a couple of spells, but we're still not exactly sure of the exact positioning of some of these heroes, and that might be the difference maker. Especially if Afterlife can get an initiation on the target.
Spread out
Chappy,
all the way.
You want to duel. So maybe
Dire's top barracks
4k
are
health,
under attack.
max level. Bottom lane's also being pushed in now, since all three lanes pressing onto the high ground. Empire is gonna start to feel stretched thin. Just waiting for the fight to break out here. Turn it completely confusing. That's the last couple
The
of
real you
fights.
goes in on the drain tracks.
That gets stunned up. They can trigger the Sages to be a great start, but Rakic, so there are a lot of damage being done to the Spectre here. The Omni Slash not bouncing back to him here, but G able to follow up with that bit of extra burst. No.
I thought he was done
enough
with
now.
Miraculous
Well,
escapes,
Static Storm
but
to follow up that Aegis respawns. Juggernaut. Don't tell me he's not dying here. Glimpse, well, he's able to spin that one up. Ghost Snake with the wall, no vacuums to bring anyone in. It's only G in the front lines here with his own BKB, slowing down,
Chappie is
trying
so
to find the
far
damage here. Okay, Chappie. No stuns being thrown up, and Push got to keep him safe, so they get the two supports. G, man fight up
Jewel.
against
Jewel's
Chappie.
gonna go.
Cool.
Oh, they can't
Front of
see
the
him.
back here, ready to go. FN flips away
Body
at
block.
Pushka, pushes Afterlife away. But that just means that Juggernaut is free to secure the kill. Another one double for him. Finally turns it around here as he's sitting at 40 health points. And he's next up, run down by Ghostling. Buybacks every which way. Maybe back home. Yeah. I've lost track of what happened in that fight. I have no idea. But Empire,
Vega held on to
they
that jewel
helped.
for so long. They really wanted FN, and they got him in the end. But it cost them a lot of heroes. And Chappie had to buy back. All of the lanes are still in. Empire cannot do too much with this victory here.
Dire's middle barracks are under
But
attack.
they held, but not much more. Vega Squadron still in control of the game if they realize it. They're still holding on to the Buyback's throne. Afterlife has it back. Juggernaut actually just spent someone's money.
So the only one with buyback is Afterlife.
Never mind, he also spent his money. So. Either
Well,
it means that they don't care about buybacks anymore, or it means that they're gonna take it slower once again and just get the next run of items, farm up buybacks, and then go.
both teams are going to be looking at Roche again. Especially when the buybacks are down, that's such a big piece of insurance, but...
Okay, this could be a big pickup here. Ghosting to the hacks. Fallout there from Pushka. Nice little vision to try and turn this around, but after it gets BKB over the static storm. Somehow. So important.
they leave their courier just hanging there.
Yeah.
That was
he wants to fight
very
too.
close.
To help out his team.
If Afterlife doesn't get to BKB there, that's probably game. But instead he gets out. I guess Vega gets to have some miraculous escapes of their own after Chappie has gotten away from them so many times. And Chappie has just sold his boots and is flying in a butterfly. He is nearing maximum carry status.
It's not close enough to the butterfly. Just the telephone of evasion for now. Just have that value up against these right-clicky heavy heroes. Legion Commander, obviously, at this point.
Oh man, he
Decent
doesn't have
physical
the full thing
damage,
yet.
but also Juggernaut with his high attack damage and attack speed.
So we're basically back to where we were 5 minutes ago. Empire are defending high ground. Vega is going to be pushing in all of these lanes once again. Neither of them can go for Roche yet, but Vega will obviously be in a better position because they have all of the lane pressure. And Empire, at least they got their buybacks back. They have one on Ghost Stick, they have one on FN.
Sioma gets a curious name. That was the butterfly on it, actually, from Chappie.
Regeneration.
Ouch.
Pulled the trigger on the purchase, but now it's gonna be down for 3 minutes. Gonna have that.
Yeah, they will be sitting up in that fortress for the next 3 minutes. Oh, are they? They're smoking. They're actually doing it. Walking towards their vision. Up on the high ground, trying to get that control, trying to get that snipe. This is the unexpected move.
Big on the low ground here. BKBs come out. Static Storm kind of off the mark. Here's Chappie kind of flips back and forth. The duel comes out. They get the ghosting. G's actually the one who, yeah, is going to take over this fight. It goes back in Afterlife to keep them away, but they find the lockdown on Spectre in the back. Obviously, that's an event. He's forced to buy back. Sticking back in. Nice little stone down to the heroes somehow. So Empire, they're still fighting. Quite actually have the damage to finish off Chappie just yet. So still doing work. Afterlife now focusing on it for the right clicks, and that is the real you taking it over. Good vacuum, but no follow-up really. Afterlife still alive. The real you in the midst of that, and in time for his life. Right clicking away, time after time, and ghosting. That should be a dieback too. He's no more help of note. Somehow finds the blink out, but I don't think it matters. 3 heroes are down, 2 of those are the damage dealers. It's no Templar Assassin, there's no Spectre for another 100 seconds, whereas for Vega, sure, they've lost G, but they still have the Juggernaut ready to right click and do some damage to this. They can win the game right here, right now. And they should realize it too. Yeah, going straight for a tier 4s. And it's going to be down to Empire support lineup to throw down one more combo, perhaps.
Vega for the security.
Enough respect for it.
Lift up.
So, Hex, back in, wall into stack storm, that's what we're talking about. Sioma at the same time. That's King up,
well,
not anything else, but they actually get the Juggernaut, they get the glimpse back in Sioma. I think they'd have the damage in them, but apparently I was wrong.
I am very surprised as well, but with neither of those heroes getting their BKBs off in time, they just melt to the combined damage of the Static Storm and the Vac Wall.
So ultimately, Vega, with all of that's happened, they only get the 1 melee racks, then even go for the top lane. Instead, they try to finish up the tier 3 bottom.
I would like to say here, what is this game?
This is also
The
another
Pushka
gem
finds an
just
extra gem.
casually
Yeah.
sitting there that everyone forgot about. Pushka
And he
first
hasn't
gem on that
actually-
one.
He hasn't actually managed to find any of the low ground boards that Vega have just sitting around. But yeah, they get to push out the mid lane again. FN and the Spectre are both nearly back up again. And
Radiant's middle tower is
game
under
has
attack.
reset. Roche is up. And yeah, Empire are just gonna go for this. They can't wait.
One difference is that I guess FN buyback status. Phantom Ghostic, both of them are at 4 minutes or so. Spectre's gonna have an off cooldown, but he still needs a lot of money though, so for all intents and purposes, not making this yet. They will get the aim still on them, and they also have the cheese to work with, so that'll offset some of these buyback questions. Look at Vega though, they have a Juggernaut as well as G, so two of the most important ones. Afterlife, short of fast gold.
At least the Spectre has her full butterfly now.
Yep.
Man, I'm getting tired. A butterfly? Really?
Well,
I think-
now is Moonshard, isn't it?
Yeah, Moonshard for Fen. Moonshard for Chappie. But I think a lot of these team fights are gonna depend on where the Disruptor is gonna land the Static Storm. And if he lands it in time. Keeping those BKBs out is so crucial.
This could be it. Empire smoked up again. Last time it didn't work out as well as they had hoped. That was when they had the high advantage. Right now, Vega sitting in decent position. The entire lineup to respond to this.
This'll come in
If
handy.
they want to here. They know something is amiss. They might have even seen that smoke here with their aggressive wards. They decide not to take a fight outside of base now. Not against the cheese.
They give away their high ground position, and they are now in danger of getting chased down if they don't get up fast enough. Again, no, they're up, they're safe. Empire can't chase this.
This will do nicely.
But this is, yeah, this is
okay,
Empire
that is the start to
establishing
start off
business.
with into the Static Storm here. They get G, does have buyback if he needs it. So far, holding on to it. The rest of Empire chasing for more as Vega. Pops the BKB now, the duel, they get it on Darkseer, so sit down in range. Chappie, it takes the Omni-Slash here, and the nice little vision in the back, Omni-Slash and transfer. King out and Poshka, both of them die. The Echo Slam gets off still. Also catching the Temple Assassin, this FN pops a BKB. There's like 3-4 heroes around him that he has to deal with, and he just doesn't have the power. Aegis will be triggered, Chappie trying to
Yes,
find
no
a place in
BKB
this
when he
particular
comes back.
teamfight. Poshka blinks back in after buying back and keeping into the fray, but it's a dieback as well for him. At the very least, get the Fen alive. He can cancel the TP, no they can. And that's a sell for Chappie instead, just as well. Can't get the cheese off.
Radiant's
Fires back
structures are
immediately
fortified.
just to try and defend, try and keep the lanes pushed out. Once again, this is Empire taking a team fight, but they didn't. They chased too deep. They didn't find the angle. They had enough time to collect themselves and go for the counterplays.
You got to fight there though. You have to fight as far away from your base as possible, because if you lose the fight like this, close to your base, game's over. Whereas in this case, they have to walk all the way up to this top lane, and Spectre is going to be able to keep it at bay at least a little bit with these illusions over here.
The illusions to work with, and Vega, not all as healthy in all of the heroes, but it still stands. Empire, all they have to work with is the damage as well as the
There's gonna
control
be a
from
Static
the
Storm.
Disruptor. That's all they have though.
If he
Don't have
gets a
him
good
Poshka,
Static
who's
Storm
been-
again,
Yeah, but don't have Poshka to help set up, to help create chaos in the fight. I mean, his Earthsplit has been off the charts this game, per se. I mean, I've always seen like stones crushing throughout all stages in the team fight, just fighting 2 or 3 heroes very consistently. So you don't have that available. You don't have the vacuum to put people back into the static storm.
His dieback
hard.
really hurts there, though. Like, he does manage to save the life of FN, but they lack stuns right now. So no way to set up on anyone. They are really dependent on Vega getting themselves into the wrong position so that they can get static stormed. You can't force it. So they should be discussing what they are gonna give up and what they are going to defend right now.
Let me shake your hand.
Healed up a little bit by Afterlife.
High ground
At the
ward up.
very least, get the stop racks.
Yeah, it's time
most
to
time is
finally
spent-
finish what they started
Yeah,
an hour ago.
that's gonna go down. Drawing the line here. They want to finish up the sparms and the racks. They have about 30 seconds till Ghost Dig is back in the land of the living. They're scrambling right now. TP in from G. This tier 3 should at the very least. I don't think Empire really wants to give up the mega creeps just yet. No. Got some shed down there to try and get close to those and wait for the perfect stacks. But the BKB perfectly timed it from Juggernaut before the spin even ends, so he's not just came up that at all.
He
Yo,
saw
maybe
that
finds
coming.
King on the side, so that's gonna be that disrupt the duel win even for Afterlife. Maybe overkill, maybe you want to hold on to the duel at this point for a crucial target. But that play was a real good. Just pop the BKB at the right time, just as the spin ended, secured them the mega creeps, and now, once again, very much a disciplined falling back and just resetting as some of these extra heroes come back alive from Team Empire. And look at this though. That double damage was just too good to pass up. They smoke up, grab that on Juggernaut. They can find FN here, then might as well
Darkseer
call
has
GG.
officially
He
broken.
doesn't know, and the Echo Slam, everything being dropped, he's down, he doesn't buy back.
Oh, buyback.
Has to use it now.
More guarded.
It just barely came off cooldown a moment ago. Prides are gonna start falling. Ryu still has his zombie slam to throw out if he wants to, but spinning down these towers, Jackson plays gaming. It's gonna be down to Empire to make something happen. BKB goes out, Ghost Dig, vacuum into the static storm on 2, Silent pops a BKB in time though. Same for FN, who's now managing up, having a hard time actually bring down his first
Another
mate.
back
Finally
wall.
does it here, buyback down from Afterlife. Meanwhile though, he's just fighting trapped in his side. They did bring down the Juggernaut though. So the defense is real. Empire somehow holds one more time.
Still holding. I'm not sure if the Juggernaut should have turned back there and walked back into the fight. He was not really going to achieve anything and he could have had some real damage on the throne there. He hit so hard. But
We're at this
instead
point
he
in the
walked
game.
in, he dies.
Look at Ghost Stick, his particles are freaking out.
Yeah, I was actually watching the shiny particles fly around while FN died. So I was like, what? FN is dead? But I was looking at this bunch of fireworks just walking around.
Particles are those anyway? Is it like something from the Emperor?
They look like Jakiro to me. The fire truck.
Oh god. I got so
See, now
distracted
we're
by the
both
game breaking
distracted.
that we both ends up dying. This is still looking like Vega's game more and more. But every single time they just got a little bit more off of these team fights. So they got themselves up to a 30k net push advantage. But the question is how much of that net push advantage actually matters, right? You look at the Juggernaut, you have a Moonshot on him, which is great and all, but it's just overall one of the least cost efficient items. Especially if you need it. I mean, it's like 60 attack speed for 4k gold. And he also has a
Yeah.
Manta Style in his backpack, so it's not in his active inventory.
Invisibility!
Look at G, he has a Dagon. Leveling that glove also sits in his backpack.
I mean, you might as well, right?
That is, BKB's come out with the duel. Yeah, is gonna win that one up against that fan in the ship here. He's not coming back anytime soon. Now that Chappie can turn this around. They get the Juggernaut again, and they also get the Legion Commander. It's Dieback and him at the very least, but the damage is already done. Chappie last man standing up against the rest of Vega, who are strong enough to win this team fight and strong enough to win the game. Well, after all, the GG is called. It is Vega who will move on here in the Epicenter qualifiers and face up against Navi in lower bracket finals.
Empire gave them a run for their money. Dear Lord. I was very sure that after they lose that Roche fight, their morale is just going to break and they can get back into it. But they immediately fixed the problem and they just keep on pressuring. Empire fight for every inch, but Vega just keep on moving upwards, and they are the ones with the building damage, and that's what makes the difference in the end there. Also, the way they played that out, the way